Greetings from far north New Zealand. It's a very pleasant winter's day here. It's 20 degrees and I decided that I want to go out plein air painting. So I'm just in my local area, nothing exciting, but I think it's always good to just get out anyway. There's always something to paint, and today I really want to focus on painting these clouds. So if I just flick my camera around, got some quite interesting clouds around here. Some of them quite dark as well. So I think that's going to be really interesting to paint, and also there's some interesting light as well. So I'm going to paint this view over there. I've got my pochade box all set up, got the camera going here as well. So this is an Alla Prima pochade box. Here's the colours I'm using: titanium white, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, cadmium yellow medium, cadmium red light, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, cobalt teal, phthalo green, and I'm using liquid original. And I'm painting on this wooden panel here, which actually I'm not sure of the dimensions. I think it's a 6 by 12 inch. I just bought it from a hardware store and just put some gesso over the top. Anyway, we'll get into the painting. Apart from anything else, it's going to be getting dark in a couple of hours, so I'll definitely need to get into it. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. So I found out the dimensions of this panel I'm painting on. It's 6 inches by 12 inches. Now, I started off with my composition, but then I wasn't happy with it, so I had to like wipe it off and start again. But one of the things I really wanted to capture in this painting were those dramatic clouds. Now, clouds, they can really make a landscape painting, and in fact you can create landscape paintings where the clouds are the main feature. And in fact also, if you live in an area where perhaps the landscape itself isn't that exciting, you can always make it more interesting with some clouds. So with this particular painting, that was one of the main things I wanted to focus on. I've been trying to get out painting outdoors at least once a week at the moment, although it's not always possible and it's dependent on the weather, especially here in far north New Zealand in winter, because it does rain a lot. But I'm just getting out a lot in my local area, and there's always something to paint there, and I want to focus a little bit more on painting clouds in some of my paintings, like having the clouds as more of the main focus. In this case, it's the clouds and just the general countryside. Now, I started off by painting my darkest darks first. So these are the trees that are in the landscape here, mainly using a mix of yellow ochre and some ultramarine blue, and then I was getting in the shadows of these clouds, and this is where I used a mix of ultramarine blue with some titanium white, some burnt sienna to desaturate the blue. So burnt sienna is a dark orange and it's opposite to blue on the colour wheel, so when combined they cancel each other out and you get a desaturated colour. So I always edge my clouds more on the sort of blue grey side, and then I also mixed in a small amount of alizarin crimson to give it a violet tint. Now, the thing with having lots of clouds and just with the weather conditions in general was I was getting quite a lot of dynamic lighting in the landscape, especially the spotlighting effect, and I wanted to capture that in my painting. So I made the foreground darker and the midground and background lighter as if it's being bathed in the direct sunlight. So I was mixing a variety of greens here, mainly starting off with some yellow ochre, ultramarine blue and cadmium yellow as my main base of my greens. Then titanium white to make the value lighter, and value is how light or dark your subject is. Something that's very important to pay attention to, especially in plein air painting. And the other colours I use for my greens is mixing in a little bit of phthalo green, which just increases the saturation and also gives you those more emerald grass green tones in there. And then balancing out that green by mixing in some kind of a red, so it could be like a cadmium red light or alizarin crimson. Now, I used the same colours for the greens in the midground and background, but I just added more titanium white in the mix to make the value lighter, and then just brought up the saturation again with some more cadmium yellow. Now then, let's just talk about painting the sky and clouds, because the way I paint clouds outdoors is pretty much the same way as I paint them in the studio. In fact, really this whole painting I paint in a similar way in my studio, except my studio paintings are more detailed, so I'll spend more time on them. When I'm painting outdoors, I'm just trying to capture that moment in time quickly and capture the atmosphere. So I'm not worried about detail at all. In fact, I purposely go for impressionism with my landscape paintings that I paint outdoors. And it's a really good way to improve your brushwork, just improve your colour mixing, how you view the landscape. Seeing colour in the landscape also teaches you to paint quickly as well. In fact, there's so many benefits to painting outdoors, which is why I'm trying to do it more these days. But back to the sky and clouds, what I did here was I painted some highlights in the clouds, and this was mainly titanium white with a little bit of burnt sienna and some yellow ochre. And I just painted those highlights there, but also mixed it in with the shadow areas. And then for the sky, I used a mix of ultramarine blue, some titanium white, and a little cobalt teal. Now I've been pretty much using flat brushes for this whole painting. So for plein air painting, flat brushes and also large brushes for the size of the painting. Like in this case, I was using number 8 and number 6 flat brushes. But try and use the biggest brushes you can get away with, especially when painting outdoors. So we're going for some nice bold marks here to create that sense of impressionism. And also, as I say, it helps you to paint quickly. In this case, as it was winter, the light was fading quickly. So I only had about a couple of hours to paint this. Now then, I darkened the tone of the grass in the foreground and added some more textures in there. Again, mainly a mix of ultramarine blue, some yellow ochre, cadmium yellow medium, a little bit of phthalo green, and also some cadmium red light and alizarin crimson. There's also some titanium white in the mix. Now when I'm painting, I'm thinking about values. Now the ground planes of the grass are some of the more lighter values in the landscape, as well as the sky and clouds. With the sky and clouds, paying attention to the value is really important because it's very easy to make the clouds too dark. And I've seen this in many paintings where the clouds are just too dark and the sky is too dark, and it makes it come forward in the landscape, which can end up ruining your painting. So we want to make sure that those clouds and the sky sit back in the landscape. Now the upright planes of the trees are some of the darkest values you'll find in the landscape. And that's what I was painting here. So for those tree shadows, I was using combinations of mainly ultramarine blue with a little yellow ochre. But there was also some winter trees there, so trees that had lost all their leaves. And that's where there's an exception to the rule, because these often do appear lighter in value than if they had a full crown of foliage on them. So for these trees here, I was using combinations of yellow ochre, burnt sienna, titanium white, a little alizarin crimson, and a little bit of ultramarine blue. Now if you'd like to learn more about plein air painting and improving your landscape paintings in general, then check out my free landscape painting blueprint. This details my whole process for creating paintings that you can apply to your own artwork, and much of it is applicable to painting outdoors as well. In fact, the way I paint in the studio has evolved from my years of painting on plein air. So if you'd like to get the free landscape painting blueprint, just click the link below and I'll send it over to you. Enjoy. Now then, back to the painting, and by now I was thinking about getting it finished. The light was already fading and I could feel the temperature dropping as well. So I was finishing up the painting by adding the last details. So things like sculpting some of these trees here by restating my dark values. Again, just using a mix of yellow ochre with some ultramarine blue mixed in. I also added some darker notes to the grass in the foreground, just giving it some texture. And then I finished up the painting by adding the suggestion of a few cows in the field and just adding a few more darker tones to the cloud shadows as well. Now I just wanted to finish up this video by sharing a few thoughts on plein air painting. For me, it's been very transformative to my painting overall when I started plein air painting over 10 years ago. There are so many benefits to it. One of the benefits is it's just nice being outdoors anyway and being out in the fresh air and painting. There's a real feeling of freedom to it. But the other thing is it will help you with your painting process. especially if you stick to rules such as painting your dark values first. But the other thing is, as well, as it will help you to really see the landscape and look at those tonal values and those colours and see how it will translate to your painting. And that's only just a few of the benefits. There's many, many more. So if you've not tried plein air painting yet, you should definitely get outside and try it. And in the meantime, check out my free landscape painting blueprint that's going to help you with your painting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.